Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus, hey, Santa Claus. So what are we doing today? I'm gonna brew up a batch of Christmas ale by Northern Brewer. And I'm gonna go over some of my favorite gifts for the home brewer in your life this holiday season. To be completely transparent, this kit was sent to me by the kind folks over at Northern Brewer, but in all honesty, I was planning on buying this beer anyway. I figured this would be a perfect time because the holidays can get really busy and sometimes we don't have enough time to like kind of sit and develop a recipe. And you know, not to mention, I don't have a ton of experience with spiced beers, which this ends up having some spice in there with a little bit of cinnamon and ginger and some honey. Sounds delicious. So I didn't really want to mess around with developing a recipe and then have it just turn out so-so. I wanted to go with something that was a little bit more tried and true. I guess it's time to go make some beer. So first things first, got about 14 pounds of grain here that I gotta crush up, and I'm gonna get my kettle filled up. I have been starting lately with distilled water, and I've really found that being able to adjust from just like a zero profile in my water has really made for some great tasting beer recently. And I think that's the difference. Distilled water. First gift idea for the home brewer in your life. If you're looking for a gift to get somebody that is just making extract batches still, and they want to switch to all grain, cheapest way to do it is with one of these guys. This is the Brew in the bag. $30 gets you a bag that'll fit in the kettle that you probably already have, and it will allow you to make all grain batches of beer. Easiest, cheapest way to switch over into all grain brewing is with the Brew in a bag. So I went ahead and mashed in 154 degrees. I got it nice and stirred in. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this with my high-tech insulation, which is just a sleeping bag, and let it sit for an hour. What else could you get the home brewer in your life? How about some merch from your favorite YouTuber? It's been an hour. I gave it a good stir. And I'm gonna check the gravity now. Because it's the giving season and we're talking about gifts for home brewers, here's another inexpensive thing you can buy for the home brewer in your life. It is a refractometer. So I picked this one up on Amazon. I think it was like 20 or 30 bucks. And it makes taking gravity readings on brew day just so much quicker and easier. Now I will be honest, I only use it for my brew day. Once the beer has started fermenting, I've found, you know, even the calculators, I just kind of get weird readings on it. There is a calculator you can use, but once there's alcohol present, it works differently. So I usually do a hydrometer reading at that point too. But for my pre-boil gravity and everything, I mean, I need something quick, simple. I just grab this thing. Pre-boil gravity is supposed to be 1055, measured at 1051. But that was with the bag kind of half pulled and half drained in there. So I usually see a couple point bump once I've kind of drained and squeezed the bag in there. So I'm starting to heat it up. I'm gonna go to 170 with the grains in there. So I kind of pull the bag halfway out, make sure most of the grains are still in there, and I heat it up to 170 for kind of like my little version of a mash out. Then I'll pull it all the way, squeeze it, and start bringing it to a boil. And that's where the fun begins. All right, so here's where the beauty of all the Northern Brewer kits come in, is because everything is pre-packaged and pre-measured. So when the boil starts at 60 minutes, we're throwing in 1 ounce of cinnamon stick, 1 ounce of ginger root, and then for hops, we've got 1 ounce of Cascade going in at 60 minutes, and then with 15 minutes left in the boil, we've got Mount Hood. I'm really looking forward to this beer. So far, the wort smells amazing. I do get like a slight roast character in there. I'm not gonna say it's like as roasty as like a stout, but I do know this one is going to be like more on the reddish side in color, you know, Christmas. As long as it's not green. Another option for a gift for the home brewer in your life would be a nice hop screen. I got this one, nice and thick, nice opening up there from Amazon. It's gonna come in handy on this one because the ginger root, I'm not gonna throw that straight into the kettle. And I don't like to do the hops either. That way it'll reduce all that stuff getting transferred. I'm worried about that ginger root possibly getting stuck in my spigot in the valve on the way into the fermenter. So I'm definitely gonna be using the hop screen for this one. So Got a good boil going, added that cinnamon and ginger in there with those hops, the Cascade hops. This beer just smells like Christmas right now. I sort of wish I was doing this in the house because it would just fill the house, like that cinnamon and ginger, and there's like that slight roast flavor. Oh man, it smells so good. All right, at 15 minutes, I threw in my Mount Hood, 1 ounce of Mount Hood. I put my immersion chiller in there to sanitize it. I also added a half teaspoon of yeast nutrient and a Whirlfloc tablet. And now we're winding down to the very end of the boil where I'll just chill it down and then transfer it into my fermenter. At flame out, I threw in 1 pound of clover honey in there. Stirred it in, turned the flame off, stirred it in, incorporated it really well. It's now chilling down, so we'll be transferring it to a fermenter here in about 10 minutes or so. I'm excited to use Imperial Yeast's A01 House for this one. Shake and knead, so another. Today's transfer day for the Christmas ale. It's ready to go into a keg, but I'm not ready to put it in a keg because the 2 kegs that I just dusted recently, they're not clean yet. So, something homebrewers spend a lot of time doing but they don't talk about a lot is cleaning. If you're looking for a gift to get the homebrewer in your life, maybe think of something cleaning related. One of the things that I absolutely love is my bucket blaster because it makes keg cleaning an absolute blast. Easiest bottling day ever. So here's a little close-up. I just go gas in, my liquid line out using the floating dip tube with the little filter screen on it. You can see here, that's a nice amber color. My keg out, my beverage out, and then I just use a pressure release valve to let that excess pressure get out. There she is, Christmas ale in the fridge, carving up. Get out of the way. Here I am, ready to taste the beer. Cheers, thank you for watching. It's cold and it's dark. I'm out here for you guys because you guys want to see outside and I want to be outside. Although I'm a little cold, I'm hoping this beer will warm me up. Take my glass. It's got little trees on it. I got this glass just for this beer. Northern Brewers Superior Christmas Ale. There are some screaming kids in the background and there are some barking dogs in the background too, which apparently they're just part of the channel now. I'm gonna name one of them Porter and the other one Stout. And I think, there he is, there's Porter. Shut up, dogs. I forgot to smell it first. It's malty and it's got like this nice hint of spice in the background. It smells malty. I think I can smell, I smell the cinnamon. I think I can smell a little bit of the honey too. I don't get any of ginger. I don't get a lot of like yeast character, but I get a lot of malt character and no hops. Nice, like full-bodied mouthfeel, smooth, malty. I'm really happy with this beer. It's really easy to drink. I think if I would have taken the honey and the ginger and the cinnamon out and just made this as like an amber ale or maybe even like almost like a brown ale, super good recipe. You should brew this beer. If you brew it today, well, I mean, you're not gonna brew it today because it's December 6th and I'm probably not even gonna post this video until maybe tomorrow at the earliest, so December 7th. But if you brew it tomorrow on the 7th, and you are kegging it, you could have it ready for Christmas. Easy. If I don't see you before Christmas, you guys have a merry and safe Christmas. We'll catch you on the next video. If you want to see what beer I made last Christmas, go check out this video right here.